All right, we're getting after them again. It is summertime and it is hot. These fish are hanging in the brush piles and I'm hoping they'll be hungry. Thanks for hanging out. Let's go catch some fish. Fishing in the late summertime is a real challenge. Between the heat and the boat traffic and the fish being inactive, it can make it really tough. You can do some things to maximize your chances. Make repeated casts to the fish. Try to figure out if they want to chase the bait or if you need to keep the bait in front of them. But multiple casts is usually required. Sometimes you can get lucky and hit the fishing during an active feeding period, but most of the time I've found that it's a matter of hunting and pecking and repeated casts to trigger the bites. So there's my jig and weight. I'm going to drop it back down. One of them's got it right there. Got that one. He came up and nailed it. Comet. First fish. Today is your lucky day, little fella. Because we are letting you go. 12 and a half. Oh my goodness. Easy, dude. I know. 12 and a half inch black crappie. Get back in there. First fish. There's a mess of fish right there, about 30 feet from the boat. There's my jig and weight. I'm gonna drag it right on top. One of them is gonna get it right there. There we go. That sucker came up and got it. Right off the end of that branch. Dang, that's a good one too. Change that pink and white. He ate it. Oops. That's catch and release. That was a 13 and a half inch. That's number 2. Catch his partner. So always check your soft plastic. Make sure that it's hanging perfectly straight. That is a 64th ounce trout magnet pink jig head, and the soft plastic is the Wild Willie's OCD Sassy Shad 2-inch bait. It's in the Pearly Gates color, and I pinched a little bit of the tail off. There's my jig and weight coming on top of these fish. I thought this one was going to get it right there, but he didn't. Oops. So I'm going to cast it back out there again. Jig and weight about to come into view right there on the right side. Alright, coming up on the edge of it. I'm going to drag it on top. See if I can't get one of these mugs to eat it. Well, I'm chasing it. A couple of them are. You can see it right there. No takers. Back out there again. Okay, there's my jig and weight. Reel it on top. And one of them's about to get it right there. You can't even see it. He's got it. There we go. That sucker came up and nabbed it. Easy, dude. Thanks to let you go. That was in the lower lip. What's up with that? 12 inch. That's 12 inch black crappie. That'd be number 3 if we're keeping them. We're not keeping them. Oh man. Keep doing this the wrong way. It's 3. Hey man, you want me to keep them and I can put them on ice in that cooler? All right, man. All right, well, I'll start saving. See you later. Bye. Bye. Gotta start saving some fish. My stepson's having a fish fry, and I'm gonna load him up. Well, I was planning on catching and releasing, but my stepson needed some fish, so gotta help him out. Okay, there is the jig and weight. Kind of dragging it on top of that mass of whatever it is. Looks like there's a fish or something, a little branch right there. Keep reeling it on top. Sometimes you can't see the fish. They might be behind the branch, so the sonar can't reach them. But if you keep reeling it on top of the structure, twitching it every once in a while, sometimes they'll really surprise you, and sometimes they can be really big fish. So, alright, there is my cast, and the jig and weight are about to come into view. Right there. There's a couple good looking fish sitting on top of that. Oh, he missed it. There we go. That sucker came up and got it. Alright, we're keeping him after all. Gotta load up my stepson. Nice one. Just under 13. Black crappie. Oh my goodness, he got me. Dang. Whew. That's number 4. Okay, when you get snagged up, don't cut your line. Wrap the line around your hand or grab onto the reel so it can't spin and pull your rod straight back to you. Most of the time the jig will pop free, but if it doesn't, it will break right at the knot. So you don't leave all that line hanging in the water, which messes up the other fishermen and is not good for the environment. Okay, I'm putting on that Wild Willie's, the little minnow. That's a 1.75 inch bait. Then the Sassy Shad, which is a 2-inch bait. And I'm cutting off part of the tail with the scissors. It's a little bit more finesse. There's my jig and weight. Still on that same brush pile. Okay, there's my jig and weight, dragging it right on the top. There's a fish chasing it. I think he's actually, no, he doesn't have it. There's my jig and weight. I'm gonna bring it right on top of that fish right there, I believe. And I'm just twitching it in place right there. It's right on top of that fish. He's turned and looking at it. Now there's a couple fish there. So I dropped it back down to that other fish. And I'm going to reel it back up. Sometimes when you reel it up, that will trigger them as well. But I've got it sitting right there. One of them's coming to get it right there. He's got it. Got that when he came up and took a bite out of it. Let it sit there in front of him for about 3 hours. I decided to eat it. Goodness gracious. These suckers are picky. 11 3/4, almost 12 inches. Black crappie. Yeah, buddy. Get in there, man. Look at all those fish on top of that branch. So there's my jig and weight. I'm going to swim it on top. Sometimes you have to cast it to the same structure 5 or 10 times. But one of the biggest mistakes I make personally that costs me a lot of fish is staying in the same place too long. After you've caught a couple fish, if they stop biting, move. If I would remember that, I'd catch a lot more fish. There is the jig and weight. I'm bringing it right on top. It's like one got it right there. There we go. Got that one. Decided to take a bite out of that mass right there. Get in the boat, little fella. It's 12 inch. Black crappie.
12-incher. Nice. Here is the setup. Got my 10-foot ugly stick carbon crappie. Awesome backbone. Really, really sensitive tip. The guides are high quality, and the reel seat is really nice. And you can feel the blank right here with your fingertip, so you can really tell when the bite is happening. Dial with Fuego 2500 series, 10-pound test monofilament. And I've been catching them on this 64th ounce trout magnet made by Leyland Lures. And I got the Wild Willie's Pearly Gates color, little minnow, and an 1/8 ounce slip sinker peg. That's it. Let's see if we can get another one out of that mash right there. Mess of them in there. I'd like to catch a couple more.
I was doing a lot of experimenting with the pink head, the chartreuse head, sometimes the nickel-plated head. Just got to keep experimenting till you figure something out.
Alright, coming up on the edge of it.
Bringing it on top. Can't really see the jig and weight there. Now it just came into view. One of them's chasing, it looks like.
Got him. He came up and nailed it from underneath it.
That one got it. Yes.
Yeah, buddy, get in the boat. He couldn't resist it.
It is so much fun when they chase it down and get it. This one bit that chartreuse colored trout magnet jig head, 64th ounce.
So it was 13 inches. Black crappie, 13 inch. Get in there, dude.
Finesse really helps, especially in the summertime when that bite is tough. Alright, I'm going to flip it back in there. Looks like there's a bunch of nice fish there. I could see a ton of fish pretty much all day. It was just a challenge to get them to bite it. One of them's going to eat it right there.
Got him. He nailed it.
He got it. Got to stick with it. Try to keep your jig on the water as much as possible. I know that sounds pretty obvious, but it's easy to get caught up.
11 3/4. Black crappie, 11 3/4.
It's easy to get caught up doing other things and not actually fishing. So there's my jig and weight. One of them's about to get it right there.
Got that one. He came up and nailed it. Couldn't resist. Oh man, that sucker got off right at the boat. One of these days I'll get a net.
Make sure your soft plastic is lined up perfectly straight. Otherwise your line will twist and your jig will wrap around your weight and make a knot, which is really frustrating. Alright, one of them's about to get it.
Got that one. Yes. Good. Came up and had to get it. Get up here, dude. One with that too. It's a good one. 13 3/4. Black crappie.
Okay, let's do it again. I think I went about an hour without a bite. I was searching around for some new brush piles, and I wasted too much time on a other brush pile. I saw the fish and was stubborn, wouldn't give up. But in general, if you've caught a couple fish and they stop biting, that's when you really need to move. Alright.
Got that one finally. A little bit of a dry spell. Goodness gracious.
Got this one on that pink jig head. I just kept experimenting.
It's 12 1/4. Nice one. In there.
There's some good looking fish. You can see the ones down deep, but it's hard to get to those fish without getting hung up. So I'm sticking to the ones on the top of the brush. That's about 8 feet deep or so. Just dragging it on top. No takers there. So I'm going to drop it down. Fish into that deeper brush. One of them's chasing it already. He's about to get it.
That came up and got it. Maybe we are onto something here.
So a key point is to keep on casting to new fish as much as possible. If you catch one, great. Cast a few times, but then move on to a new brush pile.
13-inch black crappie. That one. Nice one. 13. Get in there, dude.
There's my jig and weight dropping down. Looks like there's a bunch of fish mixed in with that brush. Got to get the transducer lined up. I'm going to keep dragging it through them. One of them's going to get it.
Got that one. 25 feet out. Get in here, little dude. Right at 11 3/4, almost 12 inches. Black crappie.
Have to cover up my camera because the sun is so hot it overheats constantly. Okay. Flip it out there. Looks like there's a couple in there. I don't know if that one's a catfish or what.
Got that one. He nabbed it. Right there. I don't know if I can see it very well. White crappie. $13 3/4. 13 and a half at least. White crappie. Nice one.
So like I said before, a lot of times if you drag your jig above the structure, a fish might surprise you and eat your jig because you can't see the fish if it's behind the log and the transducer can't pick it up. You can see one of them right there.
Oh man, one of them came up and got it. Good one. I didn't even see him. He was just on there. Little white crappie. Get up here, dude. Easy bag. $13 3/4. Nice little white crappie. Let's get this off. There we go.
Okay, moved on to a new brush pile. About to flip the jig and weight out there. You can see it dropping down right there. And there's some good looking fish suspended in that mess. Hopefully they're crappie. There's the jig and weight. Now you can't see it. It's right in there.
Got that one. He thumped it. There's another white crappie.
Fishing in the heat is really brutal. Camera constantly overheats, so you have to keep it in the shade as much as possible.
It's that monkey puke.
That's a nice white crappie.
Over 12.5 inch. White crappie.
Covering up the camera right there with my hand. Okay. There's the jig and weight. There's some nice looking crappie on there. I believe they're crappie. They're just kind of sitting still. I'm going to drag it right on top of them. See if one of them will eat it. One of them's chasing it. He's about to get it. Yes!
Got that one. He chased it down. It's the smallest one in there. Let him go.
Okay, I'm going to flip it back out there. These are artificial man-made brush piles, I believe. So I'm going over the one right there. One's chasing it right there. You can't see it.
Got that one. It came up and nabbed it. Let me see it. Get up here, dude. Get him.
This sucker bounced up and almost hit me right in the head.
It's 14 inches. Black crappie. 14. Going in the boat.
Okay, there's a couple crappie on that one limb. I'm going to bring it right on top of them. About to drop down. One of them's about to get it.
Got him. Yeah. You couldn't resist it. Yeah, that wild willies. Get up here, you big toad. That monster. 14 inch. Dude, my goodness. 14 inch black crappie. I think we're gonna catch one more and call it a day.
I think this is my last fish. About to see the lure and jig right there, and one of them's gonna get it.
He came up and nabbed it. Little one. Let you go, little fella. Actually, I might not. See how big you are. It's 11 and a quarter. Put in. Ah, we're gonna let you go.
Ended up keeping 14, I believe.
Nice looking slab well.